Hey, welcome back to another one of these videos. Today I'm going to be doing creator challenges again. I just want to say before I start though, that I'm only going to be doing 2 creator challenges today instead of 3. 3 just leads to a really long video. I'm probably only going to do 2 from now on. Okay, so the first challenge we're going to be doing is only use one color. This challenge was submitted by Sir Zeus, and I just think this would be a pretty cool one. I'm assuming this means I can use one color channel, but I can use hue and that sort of thing as well. Okay, so I've got one color channel. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make the background black, and I'm going to make the ground black as well. Okay, so I've got the background and the ground black. I want to do some cool color mixing. You can do a lot with rainbow blocks if you use red, green, and blue. So I'm going to try and use that for my design to make it have the illusion of multiple colors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use rainbow blocks to just make like little detail. I'm going to use rainbow blocks to make like the overall block. That's not pure red. It needs to be pure red if it's going to work. So now I've got this like outline structure. I'm going to add a second layer that is these, but with max brightness this time, although that really won't do anything because this is already max like level red. Actually, I'm going to reduce the brightness on this down to like 30. It looks kind of boring at the moment. There's not really much going on. I should be able to do some stuff with overlapping because of how blending works, so that should be pretty good. So I'm probably going to try and do some stuff with overlapping. The only issue is now that I've chosen blending as my color, it's going to make glow a lot easier, but damn, it's going to be so hard to do like everything else. Because if I give those black objects the color channel, they won't show up. Right, so this is like a start, I guess. I think it could be better, but for now I think we're going to roll with this. What I'm going to do to make this really stand out is I'm going to pulse it. So let's have a red pulse here, and I'm going to fade it out 0.5 channel 1. And then I'm going to pulse it blue, and you'll see something really cool. This is something I used a lot in RGB because obviously the entire level of RGB is about using that one color scheme. So in RGB, what I did for a lot of the designs is I added these as really like these rainbow blocks as subtle like extra details. And because of how rainbow blocks work, it shows a different part of the block depending on the color if you give it blending. So that's what I've decided to do here. This, I want to have the outline as like, well, when it's blue, I want it to be red, for example. So I think if I go to 120, yeah, okay, 120, that's good. So now that should add a bit of contrast to it. Hopefully that'll make it look a bit nicer. Now, what can I add? Dude, blending makes this so difficult though. Like genuinely, blending is going to make this so much harder. For the next part of this block, I'm going to use these, but I'm going to make them a different color. So if I adjust the saturate, well, the hues like this, then when I move that in there, it should, yeah, should make it look almost like red-orange. And I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did here with these rainbow blocks. So now we've got this. Now my issue with this actually is there isn't much depth. I really need to add some depth to this. So a way I think I can do that is if I adjust the like brightness, that should add a little bit more depth into the block design itself. Dude, I don't know what I can do now. Like this is actually going to be so hard. Like I don't know how well this is going to be. Like, I think I'm kind of going to fail this challenge, but I'll give it a go. Oh no, wait. Okay, thank God. I thought for a second that I wouldn't be able to have like an invisible color, but as long as I just turn all the brightness down, then it should be fine. Also, one thing I want to say, I do stream on my Twitch channel quite a lot. I've been fairly inactive recently just because of reasons, like getting mod and shit has kind of, you know, added a few more things for me to do, but I should be back on it fairly soon. Okay, I'm going to actually reduce the brightness down here. I would just want this to add like a bit of extra depth to the designs. Because of everything overlapping, I can't get like clean colors, I guess. Everything kind of like merges together, which looks cool in a way, but I think it looks a bit rough as well. So now, as you can see, like it very subtly pulses with the color, which just adds a little bit of extra like depth to it almost. It just makes it look a bit cleaner in my opinion. I think I'm gonna add some blending, like glow over the top of everything now. To be fair, like in reality, it doesn't really matter if it's above or below because it's all blending anyway. It's all gonna like mesh in the same way, but I think I will put it above just for consistency. Okay, this glow is way too bright on the spike, so I need to remove that. Okay, this is starting to come together, I think. Okay, I don't like the rainbow blocks much anymore, actually. I think these need to be brighter, because at the moment the rainbow blocks are like making this really, really hard. But if I make them more visible, now it should be, yeah, that should like add quite a lot actually, I think. Okay, I'm actually kind of digging this design, like honestly. I think this looks really cool. This is a really hard challenge though. Like I didn't anticipate how difficult this would be. As you guys probably know if you like played my levels, colors are like the one thing I like to think that I can do well. And I'm struggling on this really hard. Like this is a really difficult challenge. This actually gives me so much respect for Wolsey and Durian and that for managing to do this and pull it off like really well. Alright, I'm just gonna add some 3D like really subtly. I just wanna have a bit there just so that it looks clean, you know? I think it looks cool. I think the thing is I can't add shading. Like this would look so cool if the outlines were like not blending and I could have like shading and shit, but I can't, so I'm kind of restricted to like this, I guess. Okay, I want to do some glow arrows because I haven't really done that before. I've seen like a lot of creators do this, but I never really did it myself. But I think it can look pretty cool, honestly. So hopefully I get this really cool like rainbow like effect almost. Because I want the like blending to like work together to make like the colors change. Okay, if I go like to 120 here, go to like max brightness here. Yo, that looks really cool. That actually looks so cool. Okay, I'm gonna add a pad so that you can jump up to it. Alright, let's just add a gear into this and then I think we're gonna be done. Honestly, this wasn't that long of a challenge. I didn't end up doing too much. Okay, final thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have fade effects. I'm gonna turn glow off. And I want to use the chaotic fade effect. I think that would look really nice in this. Alright, and with that, I think I'm done. So let me just show you guys the level. But yeah, it's time to move on to the second challenge for today's video. Ooh, okay, this is a cool challenge. This one was requested by Coopertonium. This challenge is going to be everything is normal, but I can only use player colors. Yeah, this is going to be a hard one, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's make color 1, player color 1 blending. And color 2, player color 2 blending. I'm also, because I'm not restricted in colors here, I'm going to have a black channel as well. Just so that I've got something to work with. This one's just going to be player color 1 without blending. Okay, so we've got a starting point. This is going to be hard. I really don't know what I'm going to do here. I guess I can use the white as like an accent. And then use the player color to like bring it out. First thing I'm going to do though is make a basic structure. I'm going to use my player color for the outline, but I'm going to adjust the hue a little bit just so that it's a little bit like pink or a little bit orange. I still don't know hues. I've been creating for how long now? And I'm going to try and keep it as my player colors for the most part. So I don't want to adjust it too much. Actually, I'm going to change this back to red. And I'm actually going to make it go slightly purple instead. This is going to be a fairly monochromatic challenge, I think, but that should be okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add glow on the outlines. So for this, I'm going to use a low opacity version of my player 1. I like this glow. I think it could be a bit better though. Alright, there we go. That looks good. Now, I'm going to add some shading as well. I like to add my glow and then my shading first usually. And honestly, that should be enough for shading. I don't think I really need much more. So, what can I do to fill this in that looks cool? I think I'm going to work with these actually. I don't really do these much in like actual block design, so I'd like to see if I can use them well. And I'm going to like adjust the hues slightly just so that they slightly stand out a bit. So this one's going to be -10. And this one's going to be +10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these, and then I'm going to flip them again like that. Okay, that looks kind of cool, but it looks a bit messy in my opinion. And then I'm going to add these that are going to be behind the like black layer, but above like everything else. Dude, I don't know what I'm going to use my second player color for in all honesty. Like, that's going to be really hard to implement because I don't usually use white. Okay, yeah, that looks good, but I really am not liking this design here. I think this looks super messy. I really want it to like pop and stand out because at the moment it looks almost like it's not even my player colors, you know? Alright, so we have a start. I like how I've been creating for so long now and I literally just got a start. I'm lucky I didn't have like a time limit for this. So what can I do? I guess I could have one of these on T2. Ooh, okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna add some of these and these are gonna be my second player color and these are just gonna go under there like that. Just to add a little bit of like an accent, like a highlight. And then I'm going to remove that. Okay, I actually kind of dig in this like outline design here, but There's not really enough going on inside of the blocks to make this interesting to look at. I'm gonna have this is 10 brightness, and the next one is like 30. Alright, so I'm gonna make this up here, and then grab the middle and flip it like that. And what that's gonna do is that will kind of make this move in on itself. Yeah, that'll make that move in on itself instead of what it would normally do, which should look quite cool. This all needs to be B1 actually, now that I think about it. So let's just select that as well, make that B1. Okay, good. Now for this inner part, I want to keep the movement that this top part is going to have. But one thing I've noticed with this top part that I don't like is it's all very like blocky and solid, but then you've got these like weird mixes that don't really look crisp. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have this accent color is gone, and I'm just going to have the red there, but I'm going to have the red a bit brighter like that, and that should look quite clean. Now I'm going to try and add something to this. I want to keep the movement, but I don't want it to be too complex. I want it to be quite visually simple. So for what I'm going to do for that, I think I'm going to add some arrows that move down. And if you don't know how to do that, it's really simple for this sort of thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have these that are just B1, and they're going to stay like that. And then I'm going to have these things that move, and I'm going to line them up in a way so that they move down. So there we go, they move down now. Luckily I got that first time. Right, so what I've done here is I've just made this look like arrows that move down. So when this is actually in the level, these are going to move down. I think white works as a good accent, but I don't want it to be too intense. Once I put them in there, I can see if I think there should be some glow. Yeah, I think we need a bit of like glow just to like mesh it all together. Luckily, I've got a little bit of experience from glow design back in the day. I used to be a glow design creator, funny enough. I bet a lot of you guys didn't actually know that, because I feel like most people who watch my videos now know me from stuff like Ecstasy, but actually I used to be a glow design creator. And yeah, that just made it like, that just brought it all together in my opinion. That made it look a lot cleaner. And these are gonna be just like this. And these are just gonna add a little bit of extra glow to here. I'm actually gonna turn that down a little bit more. I'm just gonna have that as 10. Yeah, that looks nice. I generally like to keep the 3D quite simple. I don't like really complex overdone 3D. I just think if you keep it simple, it generally looks quite good. Just to add a little bit of extra to the blocks without making it too much. I'm actually really proud of this actually, now that I look at it. I think the white accents the red really well, and it kind of works really well with this. So that's the block design I've managed to do. Now let's design this thing. This, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a smaller version of this, which isn't a bad thing. I know a lot of people meme on creators for that, but it's honestly not a bad thing, because you can do a lot with one design. You know, it's a ways to make one design that looks good and just not use it. I just realized I didn't use layering at all here. I'm actually kind of stupid in that regard. Alright, and now let's add the 3D. The only things I don't want fade effects on are these like glows on the bottom, and because that can look really messy. And I'm going to use a fairly basic one. You know, I kind of want to use the shrinking one, but yeah, time to add a little bit of air deco to this, I think. I want to do something simple but effective. And I'm going to put these on a new layer for once, because I actually remembered this time, and I'm going to make the 3D not blending. So now stuff should be able to like clip through it without it being too visible. So I'm going to have these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them in B3 so they're behind everything, and I'm going to make them really bright. And then on the 3D, I'm going to add a new layer to it as an outline layer that's going to be the same brightness as those connector pieces. And what that's going to do is going to all tie it all together and make it look like one continuous design. So yeah, in the 3D, I'm just going to add an outline to it. This is like usually as complex as my 3D gets. I generally like really simple 3D. I just feel like complexity in 3D generally doesn't look too great, so I like to keep it quite simple. Yeah, I'm going to add a gear now. If you've watched my streams for a while, you'll know that my gears are generally very simple as well. I usually just have no outline and then something like this. And I like just doing very subtle changes to them. And yeah, that should follow the 3D direction as well, actually. And if I just make these all rotate in the same direction. And now finally what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to add a little bit of glow just to touch it up a little bit. And there we are. I think I'm done with this design. Yeah, let's see what this looks like in game. Actually, before I do that, I just want to make a few more finishing touches, like turning off glow on this. I want to try and keep doing this actively and weekly, because I really do want to start actually growing my YouTube channel. Streams are going to be every daily, hopefully, Monday to Saturday. With that being said, join my Discord server and make sure to watch the next video. I'll see you guys next time.